What's up everybody, it's RobinGaming here. So today is a very special day. I finally managed to achieve 50,000 subscribers. Holy shit, it's just absolutely insane. I've been doing this for almost 4 years now, and it is just an awesome feeling to realize that after so many years of hard work, think about it, I've put like 3 to 4 hours into every single video, and to this day I've made like 600 to 700 of them, I believe, in these last 4 years. It has really become a giant part of my life. And as I said, it is just awesome to realize that even to this day, the channel is doing better than ever. This very same month, November, was I think twice or maybe even 3 times as successful as my previous most successful month on YouTube. So that is just an awesome feeling, absolutely amazing. And so 50,000 subscribers, thanks a lot to everybody. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the time to really put much effort into this big celebration video or something, so I decided to do something more personal and easy to make, which is just a special Q&A video. Asked you all to submit some questions to me, which I'll answer to you all. And there's some really cool and funny questions in there that I will be answering this time around. So I hope that kind of makes up for it. I'm still super busy with my internship and stuff, so please keep that in mind. It'll be done in about 2 months from now. Then I can really get back into putting a lot of effort into videos. But for now, I'd say let's get into it, okay? So the very first question here comes from the Gaming Archive 19 and says, what is the most embarrassing old video that you made, still on YouTube or deleted? Now, this, funnily enough, might be literally the only video that I've ever made that is deleted, or actually made, I think, unpublic, or whatever you want to call it, made private, which is my 5K facecam reveal that I originally did in 2012. And the reason for it is not necessarily that I was that, I guess, well, you know, I was embarrassed about it for sure. That was probably actually the biggest reason now that I think of it. But I was constantly reminded of it by people leaving comments that saw the video still, you know, years down the road, or people reminding me of it in my personal life, you know. And what was so bad about that is I just looked like, even though it was 3 years ago, I looked like I was 6 or 7 years old or something. No, really, I had this different haircut and stuff. My god, am I happy I got rid of that. But I had this kind of Justin Bieber like haircut. I still, you know, talked like I was a child or something. So in that way, that was definitely something I was quite embarrassed of. I decided to get rid of that original facecam video, even though I know I should honestly just accept it. And if it wasn't there, then there would be no thing for me to look back at and see how much I improved over time, right? But that being said, yeah, unfortunately I did take it down. So that's pretty much the answer to that question. Thanks a lot, Gaming Archive 19. The next one is from Darren Wicks at Nirvana Fan Wicks. If you could bring back any game franchise, what would it be and why? Recently thought about this, and I came to the conclusion that the franchise I want to bring back is actually a PSP franchise that's called Pursuit Force. Man, I love that series when I still played on my, on my good old PSP, the handheld from Sony. Pursuit Force was this kind of giant action game that I think you might even compare it to Uncharted in some ways. But it was about these big, it was kind of a racing game and an action game at the same time, where you were just racing through linear levels with enemies that you're chasing. And the big deal about those games were that you could jump from like car to car, and it made for some awesome action. And the games never really sold quite well, I think, even though it did get a sequel. There's 2 games in total, but they decided, unfortunately, that studio I think got closed by Sony, so that's a really big shame. But man, if they could make a giant Pursuit Force game for PlayStation 4, would be absolutely amazing. I would love to see that. Let me know if you played Pursuit Force, because I'm really interested to see if there's any people that actually did. That would be awesome. So the next one is from At Night Redeemed, who asks, what's your favorite video that you've made? Now, I don't think I've particularly got a favorite video or something like that. I still feel like, to this day, yeah, it's hard to really call out favorite videos. These days I do just a lot of regular commentaries, sharing my opinions and stuff. I'd say the videos I'm always really proud of are the sort of like top 25 lists that I do at the end of every year. So my most recent top 25 PS4 games is a video I'm very proud of. I really like making those, as I said, at the end of every year, and I think that one, a lot of effort I put into that one, and yeah, to this day I can still enjoy watching it. It's like 12 minutes in total for 25 games, so it's pretty short short and snappy in that way for every single one of them, and I do really like that one. So I would say that's one of my favorites for sure. Next one from a Cash Punk fan, number 1, who's of course one of my best and longest subscribers now for a long time. Thanks a lot, Cash, because I really appreciate your support. He asks, what is your dream job and would you consider working in the gaming industry? I would definitely consider working in the gaming industry. Of course, right now I'm doing software engineering as a study, so a lot of programming. And although I would like to work for a certain gaming studio or maybe even make my own indie studio and make games, in the end, I feel like, and that's what's so weird, is that although I like programming, definitely for sure, and you know, I'm definitely also passionate for that, at the same time with YouTube now these past 4 years, I've realized I enjoy this so much more. So really my dream job would be to do this full time. I've come to that conclusion a long time ago, and I even have plans to maybe see if it would be possible. At least look into the possibilities when I'm done with school, really focus on YouTube and see where it can go. That's really my kind of thing right now that I want to try. But yeah, that would seriously be my dream job, just talking about games for you all on YouTube. A lot of effort goes into that as well, but I'm just having a blast doing it. So that is definitely my dream job right now. So the next question here is from Andre Rodriguez, who asks, had The Last of Us been a flop, do you think Uncharted 4 would still be the last entry in the series? Very good question. I had no doubt in my mind that Last of Us was, you know, going to flop or something. I thought the game would do awesome at all times. And of course it did, you know, the game did really well. But indeed, had it been a flop, what if, then I would say the chances might have been definitely there that Uncharted 4 wouldn't have been the last game, because Naughty Dog would want to at least hold on to one franchise that they do know is successful, right? If they see that Last of Us wouldn't have worked out, then they'd be kind of afraid for the next new IP as well. So in that way, it definitely would have been possible that you know, they wouldn't have said that Uncharted 4 is the final game. So I definitely think you have a point there, Andre. So yeah, I can't really answer it, of course, because Last of Us never was a flop, but you know, it is what it is. So let's see, we have 2 questions left here. This one comes from Simon at RestRepo Simon and asks, do you think Uncharted 4 is going to slip into the M rating? People made a big deal when Arkham Knight did. I'm gonna be super honest with you here, Simon. I just don't really care. Like, is it going to slip into the M rating? Yeah, the possibility is there. It does seem to kind of like be a bit more serious this time around. So, you know, I really can't say, but in terms of my personal opinion, I couldn't care less. I feel like these developers need to have their creative freedom, just do what they want. If the game is gonna be M rated, then that's what it is, and I'll be fine with that. If they feel like, you know, they should be adding some things into the franchise that will make it really worth it, that are or that would make for it to be M rated, fine with me, totally fine with me. I don't in any way ever look at ratings for, or you know, age ratings for games, so I couldn't care less myself. Let me know if you do, of course, in the comments, because I'm interested in that. Do you still look at age ratings? Are there certain games that you're not allowed to buy, maybe because your parents say you can't get them for that particular rating? Yeah, very interested in that, so let me know that in the comments. And then we get to the final question here, which comes from Matthew, aka mpinks970, also an awesome subscriber, who asks, what is more important, gameplay or story? Now, that's a massive, you know, a very hard question, I would say. For a long time, I would have always actually said that story was more important, which might sound weird because you would expect with a game what's most important is obviously gameplay, but it is just that games with good stories always stay in my mind. If I think back of games that I've had a great experience with, it's always the games that had a great story, something that really stuck with me, that I still think back of to this day. But at the same time, these days, I've also really realized that games with awesome gameplay, you know, can also be just as good, but I do think still that they don't leave as big of a lasting impression. So if I look at a game like Rayman Legends, or recently Bloodborne, Super Meat Boy, Rocket League, those kinds of games, no story whatsoever. Well, people would argue with Bloodborne there is a story, but at least not in a standard way. But games that just don't have a story whatsoever, they're hard for me to keep remembering them, if you get what I mean. And I still really like playing those by the time they come out, but a year, 2 years down the road, do I still really think back of them? No, that's not the case. So I do think story is just really important, although the perfect game would be a game that has, you know, both a great story and awesome gameplay, of course. So, but that I think that's quite an obvious thing. Anyway, this already was the Q&A. I think I've answered, let's see, 7 questions in total. Hope you enjoyed it, of course. Thanks to everybody who has been supporting me over these past years. 50,000 subscribers, that's an awesome amount, and I never thought in the beginning I would ever get to this point. So yeah, you know, I can't thank you enough for that. It really, really means a lot to me. Also, you know, just that my channel is still to this day, 4 years down the road, doing better than ever. Yeah, just a great feeling I get from that. So, you know, thanks to all of you for still sticking around, watching the videos. And although, you know, I'm super busy right now with my internship and stuff, I still try my very best to deliver content. And I hope you keep that in mind, you know, when it might take a while for me to upload a video sometime. But yeah, for now, that was the Q&A. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comments and answer the questions for yourself as well. And for now, thanks a lot for watching, and hope to see you again next time.